Coming up on Mountain News at 6, folks in Perry County continue to mourn the loss of a high school student killed in an ATV crash. And some in McGoffin County recount the destruction of a tornado left in its wake on this day 14 years ago.
And much cooler today as what we've seen the past couple days, and we've increased the rain chances, and they will last for quite some time. Details coming up.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
Good evening, I'm McKinley Calandrino. This past weekend, folks in Perry County faced an unimaginable loss and are continuing to battle the grief. A 16-year-old girl lost her life as a result of a drunk driving crash. WYMT's Neely Green spoke to an advocate against drunk driving.
These choices do have an impact. That's something that they made in a split-second decision, thinking that they were going to have some fun. And now it's going to affect that community for the rest of their lives.
On Saturday, a Perry County Central High School student died after an ATV crash. 16-year-old Emily Clark was one of 4 people riding in the ATV when it went over an embankment. In a video posted to the Perry County Sheriff's Office Facebook, Sheriff Joe Ingalls says they believe alcohol may have played a factor.
We do suspect that alcohol is involved in this from our preliminary investigations. We charged the driver with driving under the influence.
Ingalls says the vehicle was being driven by a 16-year-old girl whose name was not released. Alex Audie is the national president for Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and she knows firsthand the damage drunk driving can have after a drunk man hit her with his boat when she was a teenager.
I sustained severe, life-threatening, and lifelong injuries from head to toe, including a traumatic brain injury, a broken neck, and the loss of my right leg, among many other things that I'll never recover from.
She says drunk driving is a choice, one that has lasting impacts.
It's just so important for everyone to remember, but especially as a young teenager, that the decisions you make now will impact your future, and unfortunately, sometimes the future of other people.
For the family, friends, and community of the girls involved, Audie says it's normal to be upset at the situation.
We are here to support those that have been impacted by this crash. We know that on average, 2 out of 3 people will be impacted by drunk driving in some way in their lifetime. This may be it for you, and we're here to support you through that.
In Perry County, Neely Green, WYMT Mountain News.
Ingalls says the 2 girls were accompanied by 2 adult males at the time of the crash. The investigation is ongoing. Also in Perry County, police say they arrested a man regarding a shots fired incident. Deputies say they, along with state police, responded to that incident earlier today on Georges Branch Road. After arriving on scene, police say the man fired a weapon into the rear tire of an occupied vehicle, causing additional damage to the vehicle's bumper. Police say they arrested David Combs after making contact with him a short time later. In Claiborne County, Tennessee, a woman was killed following a head-on crash. It happened yesterday afternoon on State Route 63 near Osmus Lane. THP troopers say a Toyota Camry was heading in one direction when it went into the oncoming lane, crashing into a Honda Accord head-on. THP troopers say 2 people were in each car. They say Stacy Vincent, who was a passenger in the Toyota, died from her injuries sustained in the crash. The extent of the injuries suffered by the other 3 people are unknown. In Laurel County, 1 man is facing charges after dispatch received a report of a firearm being discharged inside of a gas station. London police say officers say dispatch notified them about the incident, which happened earlier today. Officers went to the BP truck stop at 15 Dogpatch Trading Center. Officers say Joshua Harry Teal had fired a round while inside of the restroom of the gas station. He was charged with 2 counts of wanton endangerment. A Corbin man was sentenced to 60 years in prison for his role in a child sexual abuse material case. 60-year-old Jerry Dunn was convicted of 5 counts of production of child pornography and 1 count of possession of child pornography. According to that testimony at trial, in September 2022, Dunn engaged in the production of child pornography. Court documents state a search of Dunn's phone showed photos of Dunn sexually abusing a minor. Some people in southern Kentucky are speaking out after a video of a high school student being bullied surfaced on social media. The incident was in Laurel County. School officials say they are still investigating what took place on Friday. WYMT's Phil Pendleton spoke to people who rallied together for the teenager after the incident.
A police escort as a parade of trucks went to see a teenager and send a message.
Amazing. Like, it was truly remarkable seeing all the trucks, all the people, the bikes, the burnouts, everything.
Logan Johnson organized the rally after video surfaced Friday of a teenager allegedly bullied inside a restroom at North Laurel High School.
He had $20 allowance that day, and he offered them the $20 bill to not be struck, and they turned down the $20 bill to strike him in his back.
People say this was not the first time that this young man was bullied. In fact, his foster father tells me that it was the fourth time in as many days, and that the boy did not want to report it because he simply did not want to cause problems.
He's a great kid.
Joe Burns says his foster son tried to take responsibility.
He kept saying, it's my fault, I shouldn't have been in the bathroom. And I said, no, you're fine for being in the bathroom. It's not your fault. They shouldn't have hit you.
To see the kid be by himself, you know, while using the bathroom and being hit, where were the teachers at? You know, where was his comfort at? It didn't happen.
Comfort arrived Sunday when all of these people showed up, not just with support, but with gift cards to the teenagers' favorite places.
We had raised $830-ish and 21 Taco Bell gift cards, so he was very excited.
Johnson says they're working to plan other anti-bullying rallies and events for the future. In Laurel County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
Laurel County school officials say they are aware of the incident and that they are investigating it, but because of federal student privacy laws, other details cannot be shared. It was a cold start to the work week, but things may be improving soon, at least in terms of warmer temperatures. First Alert meteorologist Eric Dean joins us with more.
Absolutely, McKinley. Some places, when it's all said and done this week, we'll see temperatures in the upper 70s and low 80s. This is a scene right now in Harlan County. Look at that temperature right now. 45 degrees, feels like 41 out there, so a little bit of a bite in the air. Here's a look at live pinpoint Doppler radar. We're seeing mainly rain throughout eastern Kentucky, but you go to the north and east of Maysville. See this area right here shaded in pink? That's where we're seeing some wintry mix and some freezing rain. Of course, it's much cooler up there. Look at Moorhead, 34 degrees, 43 in Boonville, as well as Hazard, 50s from Manchester down to Jacksboro. If you have plans over the next 12 hours, we're going to see that temperature go up. We're going to decrease the rain chances for a little bit, only for them to fire back up as we go into the day on Tuesday. And we're going to keep the rain chances in the forecast for quite some time. Details in the First Alert forecast in a few minutes. McKinley.
Thank you, Eric. A rate increase is coming for Kentucky Power customers. Under the Public Service Commissioner's final order, the average residential customer will see an average monthly energy bill increase of $10.76 in the first year. The order represents an increase of nearly 6% for the first year, and there will be an additional 0.75% increase after the first year. We have much more about this on our website at WYMT.com. A power outage for a good portion of McGoffin County caused issues today. At one point during the day, more than 1,300 people were without electricity. Traffic lights as well as businesses throughout Restaurant Row in Salyersville were impacted by the outage. Today marks the 14-year anniversary of the deadly tornadoes that tore through the region on March 2nd, 2012. WYMT's Buddy Forbes spoke to some former officials in McGoffin County who say they will never forget the devastation of that day.
In February 2012, McGoffin County officials discussed the potential of purchasing a tornado siren for the community.
And in my naiveness, I pronounced that, well, if you can get anything that helps our community, I'm all for it, but we don't get tornadoes here.
Former Judge Executive Doc Hardin says he never expected he would serve as that alarm when funnels found the Salyersville community on March 2nd, 2012.
So what I did was I went out to see if people that we need to get out of harm's way. Went out, closed down several businesses, brought a couple of them over to my home.
Hardin recalls sitting in his vehicle when the tornado rolled through town, hearing the sounds and seeing the darkness take over.
I can tell you stories of how people survived. It was the grace of God.
He says the town was blessed to not lose any of its people, though others were not so fortunate, since the tornadoes claimed the lives of more than 20 Kentuckians.
If this tornado had come through in the middle of the night, body bags wouldn't have held them. We were fortunate it came through when it did.
Hardin credits local meteorologists and caring neighbors for the lives saved that day. And former Salyersville Mayor Pete Shepard agrees. He says he was out of town when the storm hit, but he came back to a Salyersville that was unrecognizable.
There's no words to explain it. It was just devastation. It was just like somebody took a big bowling ball and rolled it all the way through.
Restaurant Row was decimated as the tornado destroyed homes, businesses, and churches in its wake.
On the left side of the parkway coming up was just devastation everywhere. McDonald's, the health department was lucky, barely got our roof a little bit, but everything on the other side of this was just was leveled, and it was I've never seen nothing like it. You'd have to see it to believe it.
The former officials say the strength of community is something the storm could never take away, and the town has worked to recover, repair, and rebuild.
We got a tremendous outpouring of help from the state and out-of-state people. I mean, it was just amazing how just people showed up with a shovel or a backhoe or something says, we'll do whatever you can.
But even after 14 years, they will always remember.
Every time there's bad weather, we all worry. We all pull, we all check on our neighbors.
In McGoffin County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Since the tornadoes, many safety upgrades have been taking place in the county. They have established a warning system, a siren that has been placed at the McGoffin County Rescue Squad, and tornado shelters have been purchased for public use. A tornado also impacted folks in Morgan County on March 2nd, 2012. Store manager Angie Lewis says that first tornado destroyed their building, and then the March 2nd tornado destroyed the building's housing, some of the supplies they salvaged. They say they continue to help people rebuild their lives while rebuilding their own. Although they made it to the other side of this tragedy, severe weather still scares her.
Now I have a storm shelter at home, and I mean, we do watch the weather and take caution now.
Morgan County Judge Executive Jim Gazay says he was working with the county's emergency management when the deadly tornado flattened many parts of the city.
All right, this is the scene right now at the London Corbin Airport. You can see the clouds off in the distance. We are seeing some rain across portions of eastern Kentucky. Will we get a break anytime soon? Details in the First Alert forecast coming up.